Are you looking for a living way to spruce up your home during the holidays? Do you want to decorate with something other than a Christmas tree this Christmas? Do you have a lot of houseplants? And for some reason, no Christmas tree? Or are you just like me and you put off everything until the last minute, including decorating for the holidays? Well, then this is the video for you. Hi folks, it's Crystalline. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about some plants, some houseplants that you might already have around your home that can be used in place of a traditional Christmas tree, whether that's a fake plastic Christmas tree or the kind of Christmas tree that you chop down from a farm. So if for any reason you already have a lot of houseplants in your home and you don't want to bring in a Christmas tree, these are the plants that I recommend that you use to decorate for Christmas. Before I get into this video, I do want to remind everyone to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I want to start with this plant first because it's probably the most obvious choice. This is a Norfolk pine. If you have a Norfolk pine for any reason other than because it looks like a Christmas tree, I'm curious as to why. I've never seen this plant and thought, yeah, I want to grow a pine tree in my house. But hey, maybe that's your thing. This plant is actually a friend of mine's. I am babysitting it while she is in North Carolina for the December holidays. And she didn't want to travel with this plant, so she left it in my care. So this is Freddie, the Norfolk pine, and he is a great replacement for a Christmas tree if you would rather have a houseplant. I don't know much about the care of these plants as I don't have one of my own, but from what I read, it seems like they like bright indirect light and not too frequent waterings. But yeah, if you want a small pine tree in your home, a Norfolk pine is the way to go, and it's perfect to decorate for Christmas. The next plant that I want to talk about is a little less tree-like and a little more bushy. This is my Aglaonema Siam Aurora. As you can see, it has red and green foliage, so that is very traditionally Christmas. It's also nice because it takes up much less space than some of the larger tree plants. I love Aglaonemas. They do really well in my care. They can withstand pretty much any lighting conditions. I have most of my Aglaonemas in my bathroom where they get the right amount of light and humidity, and they seem to love it there, and I can't recommend Aglaonemas enough. They're some of my favorite houseplants. The next plant I want to talk about isn't necessarily a specific plant, but a category of plants. So this is a Monstera Adansonii, and it is staked with this nice chunk of log. And I think that gives it a really cool rustic look to it. But also, as you can see, when it's staked like this, it tends to grow in kind of a triangular shape. So it looks a little bit like a pine tree. And I think this is a nice replacement for a Christmas tree because of the beautiful, lush green foliage. It gives the full tree look that you're looking for without actually being a tree. And with any type of stake, whether that's a bamboo pole or a moss pole, you'll get the trunk look from the stake, and the foliage makes the branches and the rest of the tree. So this is a fun alternative to a Christmas tree. The last plant I want to talk about is a Ficus elastica. This is my Ficus elastica burgundy. It is another one of my favorites. It is more of a bush than a tree at this stage of its life, but I think that this would look really nice with some decorations on it. It has the traditional branch-like structures of a tree that you could use to hang ornaments on or string lights through, and we're gonna go ahead and decorate some of these trees so that you can see what they would look like decorated. But yeah, I think this is a good plant because of the dark foliage. It needs cleaned a little bit, but Since it has the darker foliage, it has more of a fall or winter look, and the dark burgundy color is again in line with the reds and greens of a traditional Christmas. And this is kind of just a nice eye catcher in a room. And so I think it would be a perfect replacement for a Christmas tree. So I was lucky enough to have Freddie be brought into my care already decorated. So Freddie is already decorated, so we won't be decorating him. But I thought that we could decorate the Ficus elastica burgundy as well as the Monstera adansonii, just so you could get some ideas of how you might decorate a houseplant if you want to use that in place of a Christmas tree. So since Freddie is decorated with ornaments and not lights, I thought I would use two different types of lights to decorate these trees behind me. Well, trees. Yeah, I thought I would use two different types of lights. I have lights that plug into the wall and also some battery operated lights. So I'm going to use the lights that plug into the wall on this Ficus elastica because this is a plant that I would keep more stationary because it's a little bigger. Whereas the Monstera adansonii, I'm going to use battery operated lights because I can move it wherever I want, and that way I can have multiple types of Christmas trees in different rooms. Another reason you might want to use a house plant instead of a Christmas tree is because some cats really like to get into Christmas trees. And since Christmas trees tend to be bigger, unless you're getting a little tabletop Christmas tree, your Christmas tree will probably be on the ground where your cat can reach it. And if your cat is anything like LeBron, he will try to attack the Christmas tree. Whereas a houseplant, you can generally put out of a cat's reach. If you've seen my video on plants that are non-toxic to cats, you will know that I try to keep most of my plants out of my cat's reach because even if they are safe to them, I don't really want them getting into them and making a mess. I wake up to soil on my floor way more often than I would like to admit. Generally speaking, I keep my plants out of my cat's reach. So yeah, houseplants easier to keep out of a cat's reach than a Christmas tree. But anyway, let's get back to decorating the trees. I'm gonna start with the lights that are plugged into the wall rather than the battery operated ones. If I were you, I would recommend plugging the lights into the wall wherever the closest outlet is to wherever you're going to be keeping the tree so that you know how much room you're working with, and that way you won't run out of cord whenever you go to plug the light in after you've already decorated the tree. So let's get started. So just like you're decorating anything with Christmas lights, you want to be careful and make sure that the lights aren't going to break. So I'm just going to drape these over the tree. And there you have it, a lit Ficus elastica. Now, something important to keep in mind is whether or not your lights will get hot. You don't want them to burn your plant at all. So these are LED Christmas lights, so they don't get too warm. LED is the same thing that grow lights are made out of. So if anything, maybe this will be good and give some extra light to the plant. But yeah, so I just kind of started at the outlet and then draped them up over and around and tucked some into the pot to light the tree from inside so that it just gives off a nice glow. So those are the lights that are plugged in. Now let's get into the battery powered lights. So these string lights were one of my quarantine purchases. I believe I got them from Barnes & Noble online, but they are little cats that light up. And so I thought this was super fun and cute, and I'm going to use these to decorate the Monstera adansonii bush tree that I have. Since these are battery powered, I don't have to worry about how close they are to an outlet, and I can move the Adansonii wherever I want in my apartment and have Christmas cheer no matter where I am. I'm gonna switch them off just because they're just running on AA batteries, so I don't want them on any longer than they have to be, but I'm gonna switch them off while I am wrapping them, and then I will turn them back on to show you. I have wrapped the string of lights around the tree. I tucked the battery pack in the back because there's a long enough cord that I can hide this behind and have easy access to it without it showing all of the time. And like I said, it is now movable. While Monstera Adansonii are unfortunately toxic to real cats, they are fortunately not toxic to cat-shaped string lights. So I put this little one at the top so it could be like the little angel of the tree. But let's switch it on. Not super bright, but it does bring a little bit of cheer to the room. I'll turn off the overhead light and the ring light to give you guys a shot of what these look like on their own. Each individual tree with its lights on. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed some alternative Christmas trees and maybe found an idea to bring some holiday cheer into your home. In the comments down below, let me know if you're decorating for Christmas, and if so, when you start. Personally, I started the day after Halloween. I put my real full Christmas tree up out in the living room the day after Halloween, so I am looking forward to finding out when you guys started. Thanks, everyone! So here is how the two trees look together with the overhead lights and ring lights off. And I will also give you footage of each individual tree by itself. So this is the Ficus burgundy with the string lights that plug into the wall. They are warm LED white lights. So you can see how those look. I love how they shine off of the leaves. And this is the Monstera Adansonii with the battery-operated cat string lights. A lot less light put off by these, but I think this is nice for if you just want a nice light glow of holiday cheer in your room.